There we go. All right, so we have everybody but Bessie. She's supposed to be trying to phone in. She was supposed to be our note taker today. She asked to not have to speak because she's saving her voice for some performance tonight or tomorrow or something or another. So I'm happy for her to perform. Wanted to say happy birthday to her. So when she does get in, we need to all be sure and tell her happy birthday. This is that cluster with hers this past, I think, Wednesday, and Melanie's coming up here, I believe. Is it Monday? I think so. Anyway, I want to.
It's Monday. Yes.
It's Monday. Happy birthday. And then, then we go about 5 months or so, or less than that. Golly, 4 months. And then it becomes Lynette's. And in December, and she's the lone birthday person in December this year, again. Oh, she had a birthday mate there for 1 year. Okay, so just to go over a couple of things that went out and make sure that we're all on the same page and understanding, and if you have any questions, I'm just going to briefly say that trying to get class loads and cancellations has been a stressful process for all involved. You all are set. Your loads are set. That's the really good news. I can tell you, I can't say the same for several of our co-department folks, whether it be social sciences or languages and literature. There are a lot of other instructors in career tech. Some folks, if that's like Lynette, if you didn't have art appreciation, right, which is required, some people have their entire course load built out of these special program areas, like media production, like criminal justice, and they typically don't teach anything else, and they have like this. So there are some colleagues of yours and ours that are, I don't know how they're going to resolve it, what else they could teach, but they don't have full loads right now. So whatever issues you're facing right now, you can at least know you have a full load. You're going to get paid, and if you get an overload, that's a phenom. Like, it might happen in me too if you want it. My adjuncts are probably mostly all going to have to wait to see what pans out in a mini term too, with only a couple of exceptions. So what they decided midweek is that all these low enrolled classes, they were going to do something they've never done before. Surprise, surprise. And I'm just getting a text from an adjunct whose classes have gone away and they're wanting to know about that. Is they are creating an online course, fully online, not virtual, in its place, and moving all those students to it. Because online means it's not at a set time, it's not virtual. And so it won't conflict with anything already on their schedule.
That was smart.
I thought it was brilliant because we can't handhold and meet with students like we normally do during registration and figure out their schedule for them, right? And then fix it. Just, there's no way we can do that with the hundreds of students that might be affected. So they have the option of changing. They're like, oh, I didn't want that. I'll just look and see if another section is open. They have next week to do that. And they have next week that they can do that. Somewhere in this, it's a slow process. The new, what's called CRNs, the courses have been created. They're just empty right now. So for example, Sandra Hall is teaching a newly formed online, but it's going to be a mini term 1 because most of the students that were in canceled classes were in a mini term 1 class. And they're going to, but she called me about it this morning because she's like, what's this? There's no students in it. I'm like, yeah, there will be. They haven't moved them over yet. I don't know how much the deans are supposed to reach out to the students and let them know, what's taking place. We did create one for art, but Jason's going to teach that one as a mini art online mini term. Talked to him the other day to make sure he was okay with that. He teaches mini terms, as an adjunct for us anyway. So he's teaching that one. And then let's see, we created an additional full regular term speech class online, which Melanie's teaching, and that worked out because she didn't have an overload. She normally does, but I checked with her first because I had plenty of adjuncts if they were, if I had I had a few that I would feel confident in doing that. But again, lead instructors and what their loads are supposed to be are first priority. So and you've got the studio course on yours, so, and thankfully it got 12, so
I know. Yes, I was pushing. I met with students this week. Big push.
Yes, and I pointed that out to Dr. Pruitt. I said, because he was like, what about this? Because I'm saying, you got to keep it, you got to keep it. But we are trying. I had a text to Lynette, and she's reaching out, and so it was great to see. We got it, we got it. I had a little advising session with Nia, or is it Nia Cosby? I never met Naya. I always forget.
Yeah.
She'll be in your 2D. And it wasn't even academic advising. It was more like, help, questions. So, and then I just made sure I told her that you were back in, and of course you'll get to make that reconnection with her in 2D. That'll be great. What was my point? I don't know. 2D, yay. Okay, so I made sure, I was like, you're in 2D, right? You're in 2D. So those are the things we did. We had to unfortunately cancel. This is a crazy. I had 35 students in Theater 120 last fall. I had like one. Whoever was helping feed that class with freshmen totally dropped the ball on it this year, forgot it. So we have a mini term 2 that we're trying to push. If there were a mini term 2 class in the same slot, we did try to move students to that. But that didn't solve the problem for everybody. So that's the adjustment we made, but we're still in transition. All the classes that I've said to be canceled haven't necessarily been canceled. If you had one that, because it was a Bessemer class, was at capacity at 25, we moved that to 30. Everyone should be at 30 or 35 anyway, so there may be an adjustment there. So what was full, but I don't think we're going to get anything like we did last fall where we were all super overloaded. I just don't think that's going to happen. Plus, we're going to have that first week drop, which we've never had. So that's going to clean house, and that's going to be a hard one to recover. So let's move on to that topic. So that's an update on class cancellations and how they're migrating to this new online format, and who's doing those and so forth as an online option for cancellations. So you got the email. You were at the faculty meeting earlier this week, and there's a real important language, and Dr. Davis, of course, sent out an email this morning because there's a little bit more language on there. She wants to make sure we get out to our students today. Hopefully, because your full loads are set, you've had access to at least the correct course for a few days and have had a chance to fix anything that wasn't fixed, like the Humanities templates didn't get copied over, but no.
I had one of the art classes that didn't get copied over, and I had to get that one.
Yes, good. Yes, so anything like that, getting those fixed so we can tweak them, and that's what I was working on this morning too. We need to get that language in there. Everybody understands that for attendance, there has to be something tangible, and we're pushing this like some syllabus agreement form or a quiz or something, but it's not the only option. It's just we're trying to push that because they want something that if they did a drop ad, students still can get in, say by Sunday night. By the way, I put my due date for the syllabus agreement form as Friday night, knowing that they still can do it Saturday or Sunday. I'm not telling you have to do that, but my thought was, they could still get in and do it. I don't know when they're going to, honestly, I don't know when they're going to ask us to do the week 1 attendance. In the past it was Friday. Mm-hmm. It might be Monday after. I don't know. There's so much writing on it. I would be really surprised if they didn't ask for it until, that whole Monday through Sunday thing option. I would be surprised, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything official yet.
So possibly it'll be due, say, Monday the 17th.
No, not the 17th. That's this Sunday.
I mean, not the 17th, the 24th. Sorry.
Possibly. Just be on the alert for whenever they say, okay, do your week 1 attendance, put it in, double check, make it sure it's absolutely accurate. because if a student is counted absent, they're gone and they can't get back in. Dropout is over. They couldn't.
That's really tough for us.
It is tough for us.
Yeah.
And it's that new system. We don't have control over it. So the only way they can get a course back in, it would be mini term 2. So that's why I'm going to tell my adjuncts we really anticipate a lot of mini term 2 courses, because we're going to have students that are gone. And it has nothing to do with whether they're paid or not. It has everything to do with, did they demonstrate attendance, which could be they showed up in the virtual classroom, right? And you take attendance from there, but like not just however you're going to do that. But they really we're telling them they have to turn in an assignment. Now, Lynette, for Melanie and I, that's the way online works, because we never have live things. It's always you have to turn something in. Might only be one thing. You might get zeros on everything else for week 1, but if you turned in one thing, you were still counted as present.
Yeah.
I don't know if attendance is going to show up as, let's say, like your Monday day, who was present your Wednesday day. In that case, you might have somebody who said, well, I could say they were present Wednesday, but they weren't present Monday. Fine. As long as they were there that first week, we're all good. That's all that matters. After that, we're supposed to keep up with attendance through Blackboard, and I have used that attendance feature. I don't know if y'all have. It does have an attendance feature, and we'll just keep up with it that way. There may be some report later in the semester where they ask us for an update on attendance. I don't know. This is all new territory. We just want to kind of get through this first week and make sure we're keeping up with attendance that way. It won't be through Faculty Suite / My Lawson, anymore.
On the Blackboard Ultra, it has a feature to tie attendance in with a grade. Do y'all do that? Okay, I don't do that either.
No, I can have it, if I schedule sessions in Collaborate, it'll take attendance for me, but it's almost always wrong.
Yeah.
So, which is so annoying, but I can correct it. And I do find it a little easier to correct than to sit there. Otherwise, I'll tell you what I end up having to do. And it's going to be a lot harder with 30 students. I have 38 right now in my online humanities. Is I'm going to have to print out the roster after, especially the first week too. Yeah, after the first week for sure, because after the dropping. And when I have a virtual live class, this is what I'm just going to, as people check in, I'm going to check that they're there. And one of the things that I ask them to do, and I teach them this until they, hey, good, hey, glad you're there. Hey, check in the chat room. Just, say your name, type it in, let me know you're there for attendance. And that helps, because then I have especially if I'm recording, it'll record the chat, and I can always go back and double check. If someone says, no, I was there, I can go back and go, yes, no, you weren't, kind of thing. But yeah, but I don't know that if I'm scheduling sessions or not because of that. So I do it that way, and then I do go back in and do it in Blackboard. All right, let's see. I already talked about the loads. Just to take any pressure off from me, because I got some of my stuff late, I'm making sure, first of all, my Get Start Here unit is ready to go, which means updating the date on the syllabus agreement form and having my syllabus in there and my contact information. I think that's all I had to do that was critical for Start Here. And then, of course, I'm working on week 1. They mentioned this before. Anything that's not ready, hide it. Hide it.
Yeah.
The students don't need to be tooling around 16 weeks of material anyway, and they need to focus on the Start Here. They need it all to be kind of narrowed down to just what do they need to be focusing on right now. And then when you have it ready and you want them to see it, you can open it up. One of my e-college templates come over with all the old spring due dates, because that course was the template. And so it helps hide those confusing due dates that I haven't had time to fix yet. All right. Any questions on any of those things for anybody? Okay. All right. Advising. I think that was the last thing. And then everything else will kind of just say, hey, make sure that we're thinking about this we'll talk about it more in detail in 2 weeks and set a time. All right, so Anne, who had not done any advising over the summer, I don't know how much y'all did any as a part-timer, you know, in terms of half load this summer, noticed a few things. She says it wasn't in any of the training. She was asking, I'm like, yeah, I figured. I stumbled through that. One is that DegreeWorks is not in the new My Lawson for the student or you. I don't know if you've come across that yet. I can't remember if we've had a conversation, so I'm just going to put it out there. If you're getting, you should be getting returning students, okay? And in that case, you can go back to your faculty suite, pull them up, and look at their degree plan from there to be able to say, this is what you should be taking next and so forth. Right now, it does appear that anything they've scheduled in the fall is showing up there, which is good. If you're getting a brand new student, they shouldn't be, they really aren't supposed to be getting advised by you right now anyway. And I get a few of those requests. I'm like, well, because I noticed their email isn't right, like it's a Gmail, and I'm like, are you a new student? Sometimes they're transfer. That makes it tricky because you can't see what, all you can see is their transcript. And if you're familiar with, you shouldn't be getting them unless you're familiar with their program, like art. Hopefully you're not getting, hopefully, Lynette, if you're getting an art transfer program, you don't need the degree plan to know exactly what they should take. Hopefully you kind of already
I had that problem this week where I couldn't even see their transcript. I couldn't see it on the old one and I couldn't see it on the new one. So I had to be like, okay, have you had this class? And we both had to kind of really communicate with each other.
So they must have been a new and newly transferred student.
Yeah, this was a student from UAB coming to Lawson.
Okay. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's tricky because when we don't have the transcripts, we don't, you have to go on what they say they took and passed.
Right.
Especially if it's English or something that has a prereq, because it will not give them, like if they told you they had English 101, you can't get them into English 102 until the English 101 is transferred over.
Well, no, their classes are transferred over. It's just I can't see their actual, like in the old program, I can't see their degree plan at all.
No, you can't see the degree plan.
Yeah, and the new, or the transcript, I can't see any of it. And then in the new program,
you're supposed to be able to
either. I'll send you this the student's email or like account information and see if you can access it.
Okay.
It was the weirdest thing, but we were able to get him enrolled in classes.
That's what matters the most.
Yeah.
That's what matters the most. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to see the transcript in the advising profile underneath their, where their photo would be. It's the first or the second one, and you have to click on it, and it's supposed to show what they're transferred in.
Okay, maybe that was my bad. Maybe I messed up on it.
Listen, there's glitches. I've tried 2 different times to do email out of that thing, and you can't do it because
I couldn't get email all to work at all.
No, it's because it has a comma instead of a semicolon. Hey, Melanie, if it's a small group, then you can fix it, but I tried to email all my advisees. There's no way I was going to fix 400 of them. And I have 400 in there. Can you believe that? That's insane.
For what?
It's too many. I don't know why they migrated that many over. They shouldn't have, but they did.
Bessie just messaged the group saying that she has poor phone connection and won't be able to connect.
Okay.
This is trying.
Yeah, I've seen something trying or connecting to audio for the last
Have you? Oh yeah. I thought that was you.
That was Melanie too.
Yeah, I thought that was Melanie. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I tried to say something on the phone. That's why I changed over and you couldn't.
Right. Okay. Well, hopefully you were able to listen in on that. Glad you made it safely home. Big relief and all that. Oops. Where'd you go?
He thinks he's ready and he's not ready.
Yeah. Oh, well, they always do but practice. Okay. So what were we talking about? We were talking about advising and just some of the little hiccups. So you can't see degree work. You have to use the old degree plan from faculty suite. Hopefully, if they're coming to you, you're familiar enough with what they should be doing that's program specific, which is why they're sent to you, right? And yeah, if you could send me a screenshot or whatever, Lynette, and maybe after this we can kind of like pull something up and look at it together. You can share your screen or something. So anything else? They're really wanting us to make sure whenever we have an advising conversation that not only do we tell them what classes to take, but make sure they understand the difference between virtual and online. And that the little advising one I had this morning was, hey, yeah, you should start seeing your classes this week on Blackboard, but don't expect them to be ready before Monday. Because a lot of us just got them. It'll depend on the instructor and how long they've had their course, to work on. So I'm sure you caught all of that update, with some faculty very low loads and a lot of shifting around going to be happening today. But you guys are set. You guys are good. So.
Rebecca, do we need to offer one of mine to one of the adjuncts who thought they had I don't have high loads, so I can handle the other online, but still, if everybody's hurting.
I'm going to need them. I'm going to need them for mini term too.
Gotcha.
Because we're going to get students dropped out. It's just going to happen.
I see.
So that's another reason why I'm like, if I feel like that's a class that could take 35, which we normally would maybe try to do. Mine's at 38. I don't want any more, but
mine are not.
Yeah, most of y'all's are at 30. If they're 25, they need to be at 30.
I'm just saying that I'm not seeing. I've got like 14, 11. Yeah. I've never seen that before, so exactly. I don't know if that's accurate or if
it is accurate, and that's what I'm saying. They're so low enrolled. Yours are enough to make, so it just secures you because this new fully online one should be a good sized class. I can't remember if the number was around 30, it was like 25, 30. I can't remember. It's a good sized class, so that helps secure your load. And the adjuncts, I've been telling them for months that we're very low enrolled. I won't know till this week, and of course I didn't know till yesterday what the cancellations would be, but the assignments are still wrong. Like one adjunct has 3 classes and they should only be having 1. It's just crazy. So I got to deal with some more craziness today. It's just, but I'll get for relief. These adjuncts, by and large, not all, have, like Quinice and Marlins, if they have day jobs, they have full-time day jobs. Okay, this is add-on. Or there's a limit on what they could teach for us anyway because they're teaching for multiple colleges and the max is already 3. So usually I'm like, who can we add in there? But I've been telling them since this whole craziness that we don't know what's going to happen for the fall. Just let me know what you're available for, because so, and then I'm if you want to even be assigned, you got to go do this banner training, you got to do all this stuff, and a few of them have done it, but not very many, and I think some of them see the writing on the wall. Why would they go through that much trouble of all this extra training if they're not even going to get a course? So I'm hoping they'll do it by mini-term too.
Is it Natasha, Quinnis, Jamin? Who has I'm asking because everything copy over. I wasn't quite ready. So I just wanted to know I'm available for whatever they need help with, and I don't know who to reach out to. I just don't know which ones are.
Okay, so you didn't have your speech template ready for Jim?
It was, well.
That's what I'm just asking.
It was ready, but not when he needed it, and so it copied, and now,
it copied really empty or?
Just a week. It's just one folder that they would need if they need.
Is it ready now?
Oh yeah, it was ready that day, but not in time.
I know. I had it ready before, and he still didn't copy some of it over. So what I can do, and it'll save you the trouble, I'll go through when I get before today is over and go through what's supposed to be canceled. We got 10 minutes. What's canceled and what's not canceled. and get that list and give it to Jim, and I'll CC you on it so that you also know the sections. And I'll, if I can remember, put the name of the adjunct by it to say these are the ones that need. And is it called virtual template? SPH 107 virtual template?
Full. There's one that's full, one that's
full template. Yeah, for virtual. Okay. Yeah, and I'll distinguish between the minis to get that. All right.
The mini just has the, like you said, the days, day 1, day 2, day 2, 3 instead of the weeks.
Yeah. So. Okay. I switched mine and made them still weeks, but I cut them in half or something. And
okay, so well,
it's just a way of doing it, but yeah.
And he said I can be added in as an instructor so that we can copy directly over if they want.
If you have an update.
Have everything, they just don't have it organized the way they want it.
Gotcha. All right. I'll try to get that today. I'll write that down. SPH courses numbers for adjuncts.
I tried to do it myself with the class schedule, and then but they don't, since they don't match.
Yeah.
Then I was a little lost.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the party.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh my goodness, it's just it's something. It's something. I don't even know what to say.
Lauren's Facebook post that said, when do we get to start using the year 2020 as a curse word?
Yeah, I know, like that's fair.
2020 or
yeah. This has been such a 2020 week. It's not really a curse word, but if it's it's a great metaphor. I don't know what
it means.
It's a great metaphor.
Yeah, it is
for like the worst ever.
So how are y'all gonna do your coming to campus?
Oh yes, we did need to talk about that return to campus.
Oh right, yeah. That
because like how many hours do we need to be on campus per?
Okay,
like,
you're asking questions that we have not been told the answer to yet. I know no more than what you heard in that meeting when we were first told this. I don't know what week it starts.
Okay, so I thought I was going to campus Monday because that's what I've been mentally preparing for.
I can't even tell you. I will try to ask. I will tell you they are so covered up with just getting stuff ready that is just a least important thing. Now, we did get an email about ordering your PPE, which tells me too. Your mask and whatever.
Yeah,
they're going to provide it. That's right.
How can I come if I don't have my PPE?
I don't have. Yeah.
So I would not be planning to come on Monday. Okay.
So wait,
well, the way that it was worded in the meeting was that we have to it just seemed like they were suggesting, but it wasn't made clear, so I didn't understand.
Start date for that has not been stated. Okay. It means we're going to start doing it, but like everything else, just getting ready to that point.
Okay, so let's just
mask survey.
That.
Yeah, I would say I don't know. My expectation in my mind is like really first week we have so much craziness. Probably next week we'll figure out what we're going to do, because they wanted to be kind of a coordinated plan in the sense that not everybody's there on Monday and nobody there on Tuesday.
Okay.
So they're wanting to work through the supervisors. Well, all of us supervisors are covered up with way more important things right now. And that's just getting students registered so that we have class, so we have school, so we have tuition. Getting us back on campus is just a thing. I don't even know what the purpose is. I don't know what it accomplishes. So,
you're being recorded.
I'm telling you, I don't know.
I mean, I don't.
That's all I'm saying.
I just want us to be safe.
Yes.
And,
Yeah, so I asked questions in the 1:30 class. I was like, or not class, that meeting, because I couldn't get in the morning advising. I was like, okay, so where do we get our decals? They were saying we had to have our parking decal. I'm like, well, where do we get those? Because BP Cruz was talking like we already had them. Like, no, we don't. I got last year's. I don't have this year's.
Yeah.
And where do we get this? And so they finally put out a thing, well, pick up your PPE from here, but then you got to order it from Chad. And then we get this mask survey, and so they can order the right size. Well, get your little packet. And if you were planning on coming on Monday, Wednesday, maybe we might be ready to go by Wednesday, but I don't see how they're going to tell us, oh, you got to come in on Monday with everything else going on.
Well,
I could
I
be
just
wrong.
didn't know if we were going to get an email like this weekend saying, okay, everybody, I hope you figured it out. We're,
you know
I
what?
just didn't know if it was going to be one of those.
Who knows? Okay.
What's in the PPE besides the mask?
There's like cleaning supplies.
I think there's wipes and cleaning things.
Yeah, cleaning supplies that you have on hand to wipe down desk and stuff.
Your mouse and your doorknob and all the stuff in your office. I can't even meet yet. Let's see. I don't know that any of us, well, maybe Lynette, your office might be big enough to meet with someone 6 feet apart, but mine's not. And I don't think Melanie's not.
I'm literally bringing them into the art room.
Yeah, I would be doing a side room too. We talked about this earlier in the summer. Lorraine brought this up. We really don't want students popping in. We're in our office, but they need to make an appointment if they need to meet with you in person, and then help them understand that you have to stay 6 feet apart. So whatever you could talk about, you can't even look at their laptop screen with them very easily and be 6 feet apart. You can look at it easier this way.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but we haven't been given a schedule yet, and I will ask Dr. Pruitt about it, but honestly, I know we're also covered up with what's going on right now. That sounds like the facility and the people in there are cranking up the machine with getting the PPE and getting mask sizes and getting protocols. But when they actually coordinate us in, a lot of times it'll be a whole week or more before they're like, give us your locator card. There's some things we have to work out. So I wouldn't just automatically come Monday, because I'm not planning to do that unless I'm told I have to. And I really would be surprised if that were to happen. If I am, I'll go that day and then go, where do we go from here, right? But I just find that kind of, that would be unusual. I wouldn't expect that, but we just have to keep close to it. If I hear anything, honest, you know how I am, guys, I will let you know. I will send you, if something comes in email over the weekend and I want to make sure you get it, I will send you a text as soon as I hear anything. But I have not heard anything more on that than y'all have. So, okay, I thought I already had Bessie and already collected in, and we probably only have about 2 minutes left. Yeah, we do. We have about 2 minutes left, 1.5 minutes left in here, but we did record. So that's pretty much it. What we need to do in our last minute and a half is decide our time. We're going to meet again in 2 weeks on August 28th. Now that you know your schedule, no expectations that it's going to change, is 10 o'clock still a good time?
No, because I have a class on Friday from 8:30 to 11.
Fine
Okay.
for me.
It's same for you?
No, it's fine for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, fine for you. Sorry, just in and out. Okay.
Yeah,
Fridays or whatever.
11.
All right. I think for Bessie, I hope that you can hear us. We're trying to bring jazz band back, and they'll rehearse, but that won't start for till October or something, because it's a mini term 2, and that would start at 11. So once we get there, we'll figure something else out. We might be able to do I don't know. We'll figure out another date on the schedule. It may not be Fridays, but this whole idea of keeping Fridays open for meetings is not really functional for us when we have, classes. But right now it looks like we just work around that. Let me just ask you this after the first day, because it's very hard, as you know from summer, to Zoom or video conference for 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, just like we do in the real thing a little bit, if you want to, you obviously want to break it up like we did in the summer. If you are able to just go till, say, 10:30 and give them something to do online on their own,